found Preston Trail, actually, a funny story. My friend was going to a different church that had Preston in the name of it. And so during COVID, we were kind of talking about what churches that we were going to. And he had mentioned his church. So I Googled and I searched online, and Preston Trail happened to pop up. So the whole time that he was going to a different church with Preston in it, I had been attending Preston Trail's online services, and it kept saying, the services are great at your church. And then finally, when it came time for the first in-person service, I asked him if he was going, and he said, that's not the church that I've been going to. We had been asking about how we could get involved in any groups that are available, and Pastor Graham and McKinney had told us about the Rooted experience. And so as soon as the next kind of session came on, that's when we signed on.
I had never done something quite like Rooted before. It's a little different than your typical Bible study. It's very targeted week by week, and it brings up a lot of conversations that I think you wouldn't have otherwise.
I've been to a lot of Bible study groups and men's groups and fellowship groups and things like that, but it's hard to be very vulnerable and transparent and open, even with brothers in Christ sometimes. But this Rooted group was very unique in the sense that it was okay to be transparent to people. Knowing that you're safe in that group and that you can be transparent with everybody was a great gateway to friendships and relationships that go beyond than just the Bible study group. In a matter of a month to 2 months, you've already said, this is my life. It's not perfect, but here it is, and we're all in this together, and Christ loves you and Christ loves me, and so let's do this life together, even though it's sometimes really, really hard.
As we were kind of winding down, our leader wanted us to think about what we wanted to do next so we could continue being in some sort of group. So our group talked about it, and a good number of the people in our Rooted group wanted to continue on, and now we meet every other Wednesday.
Sometimes I'll just be driving home and Dave and Stephanie will pop up into my brain, and it's like, oh, I wonder how they're doing with that prayer request that they had asked me to. So I'll call them up and say, hey, how you guys doing? Or someone else from my group will pop up, and it's just kind of expanded my thought of, I don't have to just be friends with the people who I naturally get along with. Of course, if you're a golfer and you love golf, then I'm going to be your friend. But these are people in all different walks of life, all different ages that we would have never really connected with. Jesus didn't do ministry by himself. He had his disciples to do it with, and we are not designed to do life by ourselves either. And so when you have that group, that core group of believers who can hold you accountable and do life together with, it makes it so much better.